So in this video, I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about one of the most requested products I've had on this channel, and that's this, the Pierre Cardin Roller Gel Refill. As you could probably tell, this is a Parker style G2 refill. It'll fit pens like the Rotary 600 here or a Parker Jotter. The refill size adheres to the ISO standard, so it'll fit in many ballpoint style pens, like clicky ballpoint pens, but it uses a gel ink instead of a more conventional ballpoint ink. Pierre Cardin is not a brand I was super familiar with. I think they primarily make men's clothing. I hadn't really heard about them in relation to pens and writing equipment, except for people saying, hey, you got to try out these gel reviews. They're really gel refills. They're really good. So I tracked some down. They're not common here in the US, so I had to find them on eBay and import them. It took me some time to get them, but I'm using them for a few months. I wanted to talk through it. The packaging is very simple. Pierre Cardin, I believe the company is based in Paris, as it says, but the refill is made in Japan. I'm not sure if that's the entire refill or just the ink. Sometimes they use Japanese ink, and the bodies are just made wherever, which this is a pretty standard set of components, just some plastic that has to fit some predefined shapes. No real other details here except for made in Japan, Japanese technology. But I believe these refills are primarily sold in India. The company that imported them is in India. They're packed in India and they're priced in rupees, so 40 rupees, which is about 53 cents in the US. The company you can see is based in India. So I'm not sure if this is a refill that's sold all over the place, but these were sold this was aimed at the Indian market, but there's all the details and pretty much all I've been able to suss out. So what's the deal with the Pierre Cardin gel refill? It is I would say a watery gel refill. Here's the writing sample I made. It comes in a really interesting blue and then a not so interesting black. So I did both the colors obviously here. You can see the blue is light, it's very bright, almost a cerulean, and we'll get into how it writes in a moment. And the black is just an okay black refill. Not super dark, not super opaque. It's just pretty solid. Here for reference is a really nice hybrid refill, the Easy Flow 9000 from Schmidt, which we've talked about many times. And then if you want to pause it here, you can see some other samples I did as I was preparing for this video. There's the Pierre Cardin, there's Lamy, the other Pierre Cardin, and then just some of the sort of stuff that was at my desk. So like I said, it's a standard shape, so it should fit in pretty much any Parker style G2 pen. I've been using it primarily in this Rotary 600, which is a ballpoint style pen, clicky ballpoint, and that would normally ship with a refill like this, not like that, a refill like this, a Rotary ballpoint ink, so it uses an oil-based ink, whereas a gel is a water-based ink. So let's get into the writing. So this is the Pierre Cardin Roller Gel Refill. Perhaps you could tell that it is a nice, smooth ink, but is watery and it is on the slow side to dry, especially on a slicker or glossier paper like this. Definitely, it feels really wet, even though it's sized as a medium. And it doesn't say it anywhere on here, but it is, I believe, a medium, and a 0.7 millimeter refill is standard. You could see the tip. It kind of comes to a pretty good point. It's definitely bigger than a 0.5, but it's not a 1.0 millimeter. So hence my assumption is 0.7 millimeter. Nice writing. Really, it's a bright blue. Like I said, kind of a cerulean blue, and quite smooth. Not very quick to dry, especially on paper like this. You could see, not ideal for lefties. If I was going to use this all the time, I would focus on a more absorbent or like a cotton-based paper, which is not that hard to find. You could find those pretty easily. But if you're going to go to a high-end Japanese paper, it may not be ideal. And let's go over to the black, also in the Rotary 600. I put this one in the blue. I don't know why I put the black one in the blue ink. I wasn't thinking there, but the black one in the blue body, but there you have it. And it's a good black. It's not like it's terrible, but it's not as dark as some other ones, and it doesn't have that slow drying, so it hasn't really been my favorite. The blue I've stuck with more because it has a very distinctive blue color. It's more of a fountain pen type color, which I really enjoy. I feel like not a lot of the gel pens I'm using these days have a distinctive blue like that. For reference, I have here a Schneider. This is called the Gelion or Gelion, I don't even know how to say it, but this is a gel-based ink, and this would probably be the closest competition from what I could tell. If you look at the cartridge, the actual refill, even down to the tip, the two look nearly identical. I would say that they could be made in the same place, but this one clearly was made in Germany, and the Pierre Cardin was made in Japan, so it seems unlikely. So this is the Schneider Gelion. Gelion? I'll go with Gelion, just because it is a gel-based pen. And here you can see the colors are really quite similar. Again, I wouldn't venture to say that they're made in the same place or they're made out of the same ink. This one definitely says Germany. It doesn't say anywhere about being made in Japan, but they are really similar. So if you're having trouble finding the Pierre Cardin refills, I would say go ahead and get yourself a Schneider Gelion 39. It's a really nice refill, and I've had a lot of good luck with that one in the past. And you can see the two are really strikingly similar. Maybe the same. It's hard to tell with these things. And then this one is another comparable refill I wanted to compare here, so I know people are interested. This is a Parker gel, and this again is a very commonplace gel refill, but it's good. It's not that it's a bad refill, but it's more of it's just more of setting a baseline for this black ink than it is saying buy the Parker instead of the Pierre Cardin. But realistically, the Parker is probably one within a mile of your home somewhere at some big box store or supermarket, whereas the Pierre Cardin you're gonna have to track down. And from my experience, the two are really similar, and I don't really feel a need to track down that Pierre Cardin. It's a little wetter feeling, a little bit looser ink. If you want that more watery gel pen feeling, which you write on more absorbent paper or like a cotton-based paper, then maybe you want the Pierre Cardin. But generally speaking, the Parker Quink Flow, I think it's called the Quink Flow or the Quink Gel, is definitely going to be more than sufficient to get you a nice Parker style G2 gel refill. And here I have a Rotary 800, which is a pen that uses a Parker style G2 refill, but it's a twist, not a push style, and it's pretty sensitive about the refills it uses. If you tweak that ISO standard at all, the 800 can have some problems with it. And I'll just say that this one has no problems with it. It works fine. It twists and writes as it should. So even though you're moving from that very standard metal body to the plastic body with the Pierre Cardin refills, it hasn't been a problem, and it'll work with your Rotary 800, your Rotary 600, your Parker Jotter, your Odo Rays, what have you. So that's not a problem. If you're hesitant about the body being plastic, that's not really anything to worry about. Okay, so wrapping up, we have the Pierre Cardin gel refill. I guess it's officially called the Pierre Cardin gel roller gel refill. I guess it writes a little bit like a roller ball because it is a little bit watery and it's a looser ink than most gels. So I would say it's a cool refill. I enjoyed using it. I've been through a few of them at this point, and they're really nice. They're a little bit wet for a lefty, especially if you're writing on a nicer or fountain pen type paper. But if you go with a more watery or printer paper, they're a lot of fun to use. They're not that easy to find. You can get them on eBay, but I don't think they're available on Amazon or from any big box US stores that I've seen. So you're gonna have to track them down online. And while they are fun to use, I would say you can get a lot of the same bang for your buck by finding that Schneider refill, which is more common and very similar. Just look for the blue 0.4 millimeter. They use a little bit weird sizing over there, or just a Parker gel refill. With the Parkers, you won't get the same color, especially in the blue. I use a more conventional blue, but it is a nice writing gel refill. And then obviously I did have some reference here with the Easy Flow. It's a different style of refill, but I do still really enjoy these, especially in that broad, which can be hard to find, but it's quite cool. So yeah, I think that's it. The Pierre Cardin refill, a lot of fun to use, and definitely glad I gave it a test. So keep those recommendations coming. Thanks for watching.